Mm-hmm. Hi, I'm Angelina, freshman, computer engineering major.
My name is Gunnika. I'm also a freshman majoring in computer science.
My name is Joanna, and I'm also a computer science engineering major.
Well, honestly, for me, it actually all started in middle school. I had this math teacher that's actually originally a computer science major, and he kind of saw some kind of skill that I had, so he kind of pushed me to join the robotics team, and I kind of learned from that. I took a long break, but for college, I knew that computer engineering would be a field that I would be interested in.
Cool.
For me, I think it was my mom. So starting off with Khan Academy, like the JavaScript, HTML, CSS, she encouraged me to try the course. I was skeptical, but I think I really started falling in love with it since then. And then coming to college, I was like, this is what I need to do for the rest of my life.
Cool.
Yeah, and for me, I think coding is really fun and my brain gets so stimulated while doing it. So I also had my mother, and she's amazing at coding. So I just took inspiration from that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This is kind of funny because it first started with me and Joanna and a third person, and then the third person dropped, and then it was me and Joanna, and then we asked someone, we met a group of women in STEM during one of our UTA events, and we met Gunnika, so we asked her to join, it was us, and then another person also joined, and then they also left.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, honestly, it was a CSE welcome bash, which honestly I'm so glad I went because we just sort of collected together at our one table, and I think we just had a connection since then.
Yep.
I'd say be in a group with people that want to be with you. I think we had a problem with people that kind of maybe looked down at us because we were freshmen. You want to be in an environment where you're encouraged to speak up, learn, and then work with each other to solve a problem.
Not only that, but I think that as freshmen, many people were scared to take the leap, so even by the second day, so many people left and didn't even demo. So just because you're a freshman doesn't mean you can't try, and even if your project isn't perfect, at least get it partway there so that you can just improve.
And following up on what Gunnika said, I think it's all about endurance. I think as long as you have the will to complete what you want to do and what you started on, I think hackathons are really, really fun.
Okay, so I guess I'll preface that we want to, as the three of us are women in STEM, so we kind of joined our experiences and kind of thought of an app that we thought would solve a lot of our problems and a lot of our experiences as women. So we created this app that's disguised as a food delivery app that when you select menu options, it kind of serves a purpose to get you out of uncomfortable situations that you might be exposed to as either a woman, minority, or actually anyone can go through that. So you could give us some of the specifics.
So really what we wanted to do is make an impact with our project. So it's something we thought that college students could use, as Angelina said. So it is disguised as a pizza delivery site, but in each of the menu options, it has a lot more functions. You can call an Uber, call 911, and access resources. And she can tell us a little bit more about the actual layout of the site.
Right, so we used Wix as the main base of the app, and I think Wix was a great tool for beginners, especially because we did not know anything about front end. All we knew was back end. So I think Wix was a great start, and then we used APIs and we incorporated a lot of back end into it, and yeah, I think it was a great experience.
So yeah, a lot of the menu options are kind of features that would help you get out of a hard situation. One of them, it would send an automatic text to an emergency contact with your live location. There are pop-ups with emergency hotlines, and also incorporated in the app is a little chat bot that can calm you down, gives affirmations, and does guided meditation for those kind of situations. I think for me at least, I was in charge of incorporating the API, which I had never done before. Also in a language that I have never learned before. So everything was on the spot. But thank God I have my girls with me because it was a shared experience where all of us were kind of really struggling. But we learned JavaScript and Gunnika.
Yeah. So I did mostly the back end. So it started with Python. So the night before, I did a whole like crash course on Python, and we created like the full framework of the website in Python. So there were like menus, so you could go to each of the options. But the main thing we learned is basically like figuring out how to take our vision and actually put it into implementation, because what we were planning on doing originally didn't work. So we had to use different platforms to make it work, which was Wix versus actual Python plus Java.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also connecting like front end to back end. We've never done that before, and we've also never worked with front end. So I think, hackathon really pushes you to learn things that you would have never thought of doing during the course of your semester. So I think it's also like all about learning new things.
Yeah, I think it's said that the first hour of the hackathon really determines how it's gonna go later on. I kind of took the role of like, at the beginning it was mainly Gunnika working like how the logic of the site was going. It was me kind of like designing and like insisting that we incorporate an API while basically snacking on things and slacking off. Joanna is the person that really grounded us, I feel like. She was really, actually I feel like she was really the leader when it came to that, because she kind of pushed us to make the correct decisions, made sure that we were all paying attention.
Yeah, and I think like following up on that, they were so helpful and they were so considerate of the fact that, we all had things to say and we all had to listen to each other. And I think given the time constraint, I think we all really put in our best. And yeah, I think challenges of hackathon was coming together and just understanding each other.
There was a lot of fluidity too. We didn't just stick with the original roles. As we were going in the last like 5 hours, we just tackled on anything we could get our hands on to try to like put on the finishing touches and create a website that we could be proud of.
Well, I'm very excited to actually maybe be a part of the new robotics team. I'm kind of like doing more research and like having more of an interest in like drones, and I'm very excited for like the possibilities of like trying out everything I can, because UTA does provide a lot of kind of space to experiment with everything. So I did the hackathon. I'm definitely gonna go back, but I'd also like to experiment with more like physical things like robotics.
For me, I know that before the hackathon, I swore off coding. I said I would never touch it, and the entire hackathon I was working on backend. So knowing that I love that, I want to take it to another level for sure, learning more about it, but I also want to give back to the community that really helped us as freshmen discover our love of computer science, hopefully go back to ACM, do more hackathons, maybe even take on like the mentor role so that I can help other freshmen find what we did.
And also, I think the faculty at UTA is something, and more interactions with them is what I'm really looking forward to, because without them believing in us and giving us all the support during hackathon, I don't think we would have made it this far, especially given that we're minorities, and there were times when we didn't believe in ourselves, but then all the mentors at hackathon, and they just supported us through it all.
I think the thing that, so after the hackathon, I think the three of us kind of experienced something that was not very pleasing to hear, kind of hearing people say that we won only because we're women. Now, I think that's very, like, it's a point we need to focus on, because this is why women in STEM, having women in STEM is something that's important. I'm lucky to have a mother who is also an engineer, but hearing these kinds of things, it's hurtful. But I think because we are women in STEM that we were able to create this kind of app that won a hackathon. It's our experience, like the tech world needs women's experiences and needs those kinds of ideas incorporated in tech.
Building off of that, I think like we were discussing, a lot of people say that tech, like there's no emotion in it. But the whole point of making these solutions is to bring that emotion and to really consider how this can impact the world. So it's important that during all these hackathons, you're bringing all your creativity in, and even if you can't implement everything you're thinking of, like build off of that and create something that you would want to see.
Yeah, and I feel like we didn't have anyone to really look up to while going into this. But now I'm glad that we can set an example for other women and other minorities to, take that step forward and just join all these hackathons and coding competitions, because I understand it can be intimidating as beginners who we don't know anything. We're freshmen, right?
Yeah.
But once you just take that leap, I think there's so much that you can accomplish, especially as a freshman, because we're scared. But now we have so much more confidence. We believe that we can do it, and we competed with master's students, and now I believe in myself a lot more. Yeah.